Hey guys, Martin here bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And so a lot of you guys know Legends is beginning their anniversary celebration and stuff now, right? And I have seen so much going on the timeline, people going on about Legends. I feel like this happens every time there's a big release in, I guess it's either game, right? People then start bringing up the comparisons. I've seen a lot of people from like the Dokkan community posting stuff about Legends like and the news. I'm not entirely sure what exactly about it is the major thing, but like the fact that, you know, Legends has taken an L or something. Like I say, I don't even know, right? If you're somebody who knows exactly what the details are and that Legends has actually done something cool, like that is what it is, let me know down below. But the big thing that I wanted to talk about is I don't really care personally about the whole Legends versus Dokkan thing. I mean, they're both Dragon Ball mobile games. Technically, they're both like owned by Bandai Namco, even though like Dokkan's made by Akatsuki and Legends is made by Dimps, right? The people that do Xenoverse. They're both under the Bandai Namco umbrella. They both serve very different purposes, right? Legends is primarily about the PvP. We were talking about on a recent stream because, again, I don't play, so I'm not hugely... I don't know how much, like, PvE content there is. But a few people in stream chat were saying that, like, it basically is all just about the PvP, right? Whereas Dokkan is its own thing. A lot of people literally just use it as, like, a collection thing, collecting their favorite characters, seeing the animations, and then it's all about the PvE content, right? So they're very different. I'm not one of these people, like, I don't, you know, wish on Legends downfall or anything like that. Like, it's a very different game that serves a very different purpose. But the big thing that I wanted to talk about today, as you see from the title and the thumbnail, is we're going to talk about the boy Shallot, the original character from Dragon Ball Legends. There he is on the new header for the, it's one of the new home screen things they've got going on. And Shallot has received a decent bit of attention recently, despite not being a new character that is related to the anniversary or anything, right? He's got his own card in the game, which as far as I know has evolved over time, getting new forms and stuff like that. But recently they have actually released a figure arts figure, the proper, like, these are the proper quality Dragon Ball figures, usually fairly expensive, and they've released finally a figure for Shallot and for, is it Giblet, the character that is his brother in the game, right? Again, I'm not 100% up on this stuff, but the big question has always been for many years now is like, when will we see, or will we ever see, Shallot in Dokkan? And one of the big things that we've discussed in the past is the fact that it's kind of one of those things where it would have to be a kind of one-sided crossover, because it's not like, you know, we could get a character from Legends like Shallot and then Legends gets, you know, a Dokkan original character, because we don't really have one, right? People have suggested things like the Trunks and Broly with like the free-to-play Dokkan original like LR, which, you know, Trunks and Broly characters both exist in Legends. The team up is obviously kind of an original thing, and it is based around the quest mode story of Dokkan, so that potentially is a thing, I guess, that could happen. But it very much just feels like it's kind of a one-sided collab, right? It would just be a big event in Dokkan. Well, not even a big event, right? But like a normal Dokkan Fest kind of event where Dokkan gets a Shallot card. Maybe even gets the, like, Giblet maybe as like the banner unit or something. But it's something that could be very interesting. And one of the big things about it is the fact that not only is he on a ton of categories, like if we take a look, this is one of the bigger like zoomed in like pictures. These are some of the various accessories that come with the characters and stuff. But in the game, like up to this point in Legends, he has both the God forms, right? The red hair God and then Super Saiyan Blue. And then obviously he has Super Saiyan 2 and Super Saiyan 3. I don't think he has any of the other forms, right? Obviously there's no UI Shallot, although I can imagine that being something that we potentially see in the future. So a card for Dokkan obviously has a lot of options, right? He could start off as base, transform. I could see kind of like a tech transforming Trunks kind of thing, where it's like he transforms on the next turn into Super Saiyan, and then after that has an active skill, and maybe you could just go straight to like Blue or something. But he would potentially be on quite a lot of categories with the fact that he has all these different transformations. They could have him transform into Super Saiyan 3, and then of course he'd get to be on that category. Anything of Super Saiyan 2 or above means he would be on Power Beyond Super Saiyan. So a Shallot card would definitely be very interesting for Dokkan. And one of the big things that makes me think about this category, or this unit in particular, is what is going to happen in November. Because November, of course, for the both versions of the game, even before the sync, was basically all about heroes, which we know there's not going to be any more heroes celebrations. There's still, I guess, like a little bit of copium that we could still see a heroes character or two maybe release in the future, because they've specifically said there's no heroes celebrations. But that doesn't mean a random character couldn't be part of another celebration. Who knows? It's probably unlikely, but it's like when people talked about in the past, right? Having a, anniversary where we get like blue Vegito and blue Gogeta, and then the other banners are like Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and Super Saiyan 4 Vegito. Usually would be something that we would consider impossible because Vegeto's a heroes character. But in theory, there's not going to be any more heroes celebrations, but doesn't mean there couldn't be a random heroes character drop, I guess, right? If the deal was made, considering heroes is no longer an active IP. But who knows? Like I say, probably very unlikely. So what a lot of people are hoping for, myself included, is that November is still going to be a time where we get buffs for the crossover category, because there are a couple of different things that we have in mind, right? We know that we're going to get Heroes EZAs. That's one of the things that they did confirm, that Heroes units that don't have EZAs will still get them. So this year, we're going to be expecting to see Super Saiyan 4 Limit Breaker Goku and Vegeta, Hearts, there's the Super Saiyan 4 Bardock and the Super Saiyan 4 Gohan, and then there's also the Corrupted Supreme Kai of Time and the Robel. They should all be getting EZAs this year, as if like Heroes was continuing as normal, like those would be the ones, and we've been confirmed, right, that EZAs are still going to happen. So those guys should be getting their EZAs, but we don't know when, right? There's been no mention of it at all, so I assume it's still going to be in that same November time slot. So ideally, that November time slot is then still given to some sort of crossover celebration, right? Because remember, not last December, just gone, the December before, we got the new Android 21 Dokkan Fest, which is another buff for the crossover category. So the big hope is that they'll do something like that again this year. Now, I know one of the big things, the number one sort of crossover thing that people really want to see at the moment, while it still has that hype, even though Sparking Zero has kind of died off a little bit now, is Gohan Black, right? That was one of the biggest hype things about Sparking Zero, like the what if stories. That was one of the things that I saw once people had found it within the first like day or so after it was out. People posting articles all over the place about this Gohan Black what if celebration. I've shown off like a custom Gohan Black from the private server. That video's up on the channel. That would be awesome for November, but who knows, right? I feel like if they were going to do a Sparking Zero crossover, like it would have been a perfect time to do it last December when the game was at its like peak hype. So who knows if that is something that we will actually see at some point. But Shallot would be the perfect opportunity for a crossover character, because he's crossing over from the other Dragon Ball mobile game. So I think that would be very cool, because obviously remember that he is a pure Saiyan character. And then I think from what little I remember from playing the very opening of Legends, because I tried Legends, people ask me all the time, like on streams when new people come around to the channel, a lot of people will ask me if I play Legends, and I tried playing it when it first came out. I just wasn't a huge fan of like the way it plays, like the controls, like the game, the way the game plays, basically. I just wasn't a huge fan. So what I remember very little from the beginning, would Shallot be on Time Travelers? There is like a time travel aspect to his thing, right? I can't remember. But he's a pure Saiyan character. I suppose with him being the main character, and I guess he is trained by various other people throughout the story and stuff, but he could potentially be on Gifted Warriors, which would be interesting, especially for the AGL Gogeta from the anniversary, like full 220 leader skill. But yeah, being a pure Saiyan character, having all the different forms, being on Power Beyond Super Saiyan and stuff like that, I think he would be a very, very good addition to the game. And you know, it's one of those things, it won't stop Legends players and Dokkan players fighting and like constantly memeing on each other's game and stuff like that. But I do think it would be very cool to have that in Dokkan. Like, I've always been a fan of the hero stuff and the what if stuff. I think Dokkan should have like crossovers and things like that with any other like Dragon Ball media, just like, you know, an official new series, just like we're getting Daima stuff. Like Shallot should have been in Dokkan a long time ago. Gohan Black should be in here as a Sparking Zero crossover. So hopefully we will get to see something like that this year, because the crossover category has a ton of EZAs that we need outside of the heroes characters as well, right? We talk about the Xenoverse characters all the time. We've got the Xeno Trunks, both Super Saiyan and base form ones. We've got the like Mira, Toa and Demigra cards. There's a lot of the older like random Super Saiyan 3 GT Vegetas, like this Super Saiyan 2 Trunks. Like a lot of these characters that are on the crossover category that require an EZA still. So a big crossover sort of themed celebration around the November time to line up with the Heroes EZAs, I think would be really, really good. And if it's not going to be Sparking Zero, then I do think a really good idea for the crossover main focus could be to finally bring Shallot into Dokkan. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Is that something you would like to see? Is it something that you don't particularly care about? Maybe you've never really played or even paid attention to Legends, so you've got no real, you know, care or interest about Shallot. I think he's got a cool like design. Obviously he is, you know, just a sort of pure Saiyan character, but I think he's pretty cool. I think it'd be cool to see him in Dokkan. Let me know how you would like to see him implemented. What forms would you like him to have, like transformation, active skill, that kind of thing. Let me know down below in the comment section. And yeah, would you summon if he was, imagine if he was the, I put up a video earlier about the Dokkan Fest. Imagine if he was the Dokkan Fest that gets announced in like a couple of days time. That'd be crazy. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.